Yo, what is going on, you shoebox size Cedra? I did qualify for the Players Cup 3 Invitational with TempoZard, and that's super hype, and I'm super excited to be playing in that. I don't know exactly when it's happening, or I'd let you know so you guys could watch it live when it goes down, but I will be playing in that whenever it does happen. I did qualify with TempoZard, but not this exact list you see before you. I did qualify with TempoZard, but this list has some Battle Styles cards in it in the escape ropes, and I've changed up a couple of other cards around that with the idea of escape rope in mind. I still think TempoZard is a really strong deck. I think it's very valued overall and underplayed in the current tournaments going on with Battle Styles Legal. I think part of that is just because there's new cards out there, and TempoZard gained escape rope, but that's about it, which isn't really that hype or new or cool. So it's like, this escape rope, but every deck's playing escape rope. I want to play with, Rapid Strike, or even something like ADP with 4 escape rope, which completely changes the deck and makes it so much more interesting, I think. So, yeah, I think a lot of people just like, it's undervalued deck TempoZard is right now, but I think it's just as strong as it was. It didn't really gain any bad matchups, and yeah, it's just still a really, really good deck. So yeah, I want to show it off to you guys today, the changes I've made to the deck. So I've added in the escape ropes, up to 2 escape rope, and alongside that, with that, I've added in great balls. Now my idea behind the great balls, and this might change, it might not, is that we have more switch cards in our deck, and the thing we like to utilize with switch cards is Jirachi with the Stellar Wish. So if we're switching around more, we want more ways to find Jirachi, and Cherish Ball can't find Jirachi, so I've cut the Cherish Balls, added in great balls. I could have gone with comms, but I really don't like comms, so we didn't go with comms. We went with great balls. So now we have more outs to helping find Jirachi to go alongside with our more switch cards, so we can switch more into more Jirachis and use more Stellar Wishes to find more cards through Stellar Wish to help ourselves set up and win games. And that's the idea behind the great balls alongside the escape ropes. Just be more aggressive about moving Jirachis around. And if we have these extra switch cards, that means we want more Jirachis in play, which means we add some cards to help us find more Jirachis. And that is, I just punched my mic there. I hope that isn't too loud for you guys. And that is the idea behind the great balls in the escape ropes. And escape ropes is just really, really cool card to have in the deck as well. It's like a Fion, but it also switches your side, which is just really nice. And yeah, besides that, it's TempoZard. There's nothing else different. 2/2/2 on the attackers. You got a Goon, got a Mewtwo, some Dedenes, a Crobat, a Oricorio, Hearth, and Welders. Yeah, like I said, nothing else besides the great balls and escape ropes is really new or fresh, but that is. So let's go and see how it works and play some games. All right, here we go. Got into our first one. We're going to go second because we don't like going first, because going second's better because we just want to turn one Welder and then attack something. We opened a Jirachi and Cramorant, and we have 2 Fire in hand, and we have a Dedenne for backup. So we'll see what our opponent's playing, see how we want to play it. But pretty good start so far. Ooh, everyone's lovely friend ADP. All right, let's see how this goes. Probably just want to go with the Cramorant snipe on the ADP. They did with the energy on the Zacian, which is a pretty big deal. Fire Crystal is not great, but to be honest, it's not that big of a deal in this matchup. I could Stellar Wish first, because if we do get a Welder, we did not. Gonna go with a Great Ball here instead. This is where the Great Ball could theoretically really shine if we do get a Jirachi. That's a Reshizard, which isn't terrible, and I am gonna grab it. I am gonna put it in play, and then I'm gonna attach 2. I think the Reshizard seems best, and then I guess we just go with the Dede change. I guess I could switch to the Reshizard as well, but I might want to scoop up that into a new Jirachi, so I guess I don't switch yet, but I could attach to the Reshizard. And then Dede change, I guess. Maybe I should Dede change before Stellar Wish. I always think I should maybe be a little bit more aggressive about that, and then I'm not. And then I always feel like, well, I probably should have done that. But this hand is really good, and we got the escape rope, so we could actually go with a hit on the Zacian. I don't know how much I like that versus just hitting the active, but I only have an escape rope, so that might be my only choice right now. Can go with the Hearth. Gonna Hearth away an energy, grab 2 energy. Keep the quick ball around, of course. Welder, see what we draw. I think I would rather hit the ADP here. But we only have the escape rope, so I guess we're going with the escape rope. We do get the double blaze KO the Zacian, which is not bad, but it's, to be honest, it's not exactly what I want. I would rather hit the ADP if I can't get around the what's it called again, which I might not be able to get around. Do I even want another Welder on top? My boss is prize, so I think I do want a Welder on top here as the option, because I could pull the boss out of the prize cards, which would be great. And I do want to get rid of Oricorio there, because I don't want to get Mawile and then put two prize Pokemon in play for my opponent to take advantage of. So it's important that we avoid that completely. Now I can Welder, and I could hit Escape Rope. We could hit the other Escape Rope. If we can, right? If we can hit the other Escape Rope here. It's kind of unlikely, and also they don't have to bench anything, so they don't have to put down something that we could Escape Rope up. That's another thing that could happen here. They don't have to bench any Pokemon. So maybe we can't escape rope anything here. And we just have to hit their active, which isn't bad either. Just using Flare Strike on their active is also just okay. There's a Marnie. Top decking the Welder, though. We know that, so that's nice. Also, the Hearth is currently still in play. We could see a Swell come down or some other kind of Stadium bump. Double Welder plus a Fire Crystal's not bad, though. We'll probably have to Welder to the Reshizard here. I would like to Welder to a new target, not a Cramorant, though. I don't want to put that in play. I actually think I might want to discard it. Once again, avoiding Mawile happening is a big deal. It's a big deal to just not get Mawile. I'm going to Welder one here because I do want to see more cards. We do need a Flare Strike as well. I'm going to go ahead and throw down another Jirachi. And then, yeah, go ahead and Flare Strike. If our opponent hits our active, we got the Outrage for the knockout. What's most likely going to happen is our opponent's going to bring up our Dedenne, knock it out with Ultimate Ray, and then try and go Rusted Sword, knock out our active, which is not what we want to see. So we're going to try and get around that in any way that we can. I mean, Escape Rope, Forcization up if that's the only bench Pokemon as a route. To try and attack with, like, Blacephalon to KO this ADP instead and keep the Reshizard on the bench, force them to have to chase it as well as get the Rusted Sword. Obviously, if they attack into our Reshizard, we're just kind of in a really good spot, to be honest. They attack into the Reshizard this turn, don't have the boss KO on Dedenne, then we're in a really good spot. But if they do have good old boss KO or great catcher KO on my Dedenne, we definitely want to hide our Reshizard on the bench, get it out of the line of fire of that potential Zacian with a Rusted Sword. Hey, there's the boss. They got a Dedenne change to go with it, so they don't have a target yet to put the energy on from the Ultimate Ray, so they could whiff. I don't think it's super likely, to be honest. I don't think they've even used a Quick Ball yet. Yeah, they got all their Quick Ball left. They did... No, I did KO that Zacian. I was going to say they did discard a Zacian, but they didn't do that. So, maybe they whiff the Pokemon. They're playing really slow. I mean, if they had a Zacian in hand, I'm sure it would come down pretty fast. They're not playing very fast. Just the Ultimate Ray, so they don't have a target. So this is huge. We still don't want to attack with Reshizard, because they could still... I mean, they got 3 Metal Saucer left. They can load some energy up on Dedenne, which I'm sure they'll load up a couple, or if not all of them. And they can E-switch off the Dedenne onto something like a Zacian. So we don't want to attack with Reshizard here. We still want to try and find a Quick Ball or a Great Ball. Get Blacephalon. Specifically, Blacephalon is what we're looking for here. So I'm going to go ahead and thin out the deck first. Get rid of a fire. Grab 2 fire. Try and make the Blacephalon play work. That's a Quick Ball. So the Blacephalon play will work. How many energy do we need? We've got 80 HP left, so we need 3, 4, 5. So I could Quick Ball and energy here. Don't need a ton of energy anymore in this game. Pretty much done. As far as energy goes after this attack. Either our opponent will win by knocking out our Reshizard, or will win by using the Reshizard to close out the game. So yeah, like I said, we avoided putting an extra 2 Prizer in play. I could even like get rid of all these energy, but I should probably keep 1 around is what I'm thinking. Probably should keep one. Yeah, probably should keep 1 around, because then we can Hearth for it. If they like Stamp or Marnie us, we can Hearth for it and then use a Welder potentially if we need to draw extra cards for some reason. Because it's also possible they could get into their second ADP, which I'm sure they play. They could attack with second ADP here, and actually that's hard for my Reshizard to KO. So being able to use like Welder and maybe draw extra cards and get into the Escape Rope, something like that, could be a difference maker in whether or not we can win this game. There's a Mawile, but our hand has no Pokemon for them to grab. We've been thinning them out. We got rid of the Oricorio, we thinned out the Cramorants, not putting those guys in play, trying to avoid that 2 prize Pokemon in play, that extra 2 prize Pokemon, making it as hard as possible for our opponent to close out this game. So they either need the full Rusted Sword, bring up my Reshizard knockout play, or they have to like Ultimate Ray into my Blacephalon. Both are reasonable plays. Mawile is not going to cut it, but they still have, I mean, theoretically they play 4 E-switch, 4 saucers. They still have plenty of potential energy to be put in play. There goes Double Boss. Yeah, plenty of stuff to be put in play to load up position. Still could very much load up position here. Very possible. Okay. They're getting closer. They need 2 more energy for the Zacian. They need a Rusted Sword, which I'm sure they play, or maybe a Vitality Band, one of the 2. Usually you see one of them in there, or no, yeah, one of those, and the Great Catcher. They also need a Great Catcher. So here we go. Research. They've used their Dedenne change. They still probably have access to Crobat for more draw. There's the Metal Saucer. Now I'm getting nervous. If they don't have it, though, we do win. They do need it. There's the E-switch, though. It's getting worse and worse, I feel like, as it continues to play out. Do they have the sword? There's the switch, which is unnecessary because they have the air balloon. But if they're trying to make more room in the hand for Crobat, there's the Quick Ball. Here comes Crobat. I can sense it. It's on the way. Yep, there is Crobat. Hearth away in energy. Here comes Crobat for 5. Do they find Great Catcher? Oh no, and the Tool Scrapper as well. So they're trying to full 6 cards here. They need Rusted Sword and Great Catcher. There's the Great Catcher. Do they have the Rusted Sword as well? They've gone super deep this turn. Let's see if they can get it. Yeah, I tried to put myself in the best position possible to make it as hard as possible for my opponent to win. There's a big charm, so no rusted sword, but they got super close. Holy moly, that was close. And there's a concede. This matchup always feels like it's on the knife's edge. We usually can get ahead like we did, but then our opponent, it's ADP, man. They can always try and make some kind of crazy swing, comeback, whatever you want to call it, and almost get it. And sometimes they do get it. They don't get it this time, though. We get a dub in our first game. All right, here we go again. Double Jirachi start, which is sick. I feel like I've added all these great balls and we keep opening Jirachi, so I was like, maybe it wasn't even necessary. And I think I will open both Jirachis, leave the rest of the hand. I don't know if I want Reshizard or maybe to go for a Cramorant kind of play. And depending on what we top deck, might change that. We're up against the good old Victini VMAX, which I think is a pretty good matchup, to be honest. They really struggle against Reshizard, and we can actually get a Donk here. How do I want to go about this? Let's play Great Ball first, because I'd rather Stellar Wish into a Hearth. No Pokemon, that's fine. Stellar Wish, no Hearth. We got the Net, though. Could have also gone for the Quick Ball for Crobat. I actually don't hate that play. We definitely want to try and get this Donk off, though. So we're going to go with another Stellar Wish. We're going to get a Hearth. Hey, there's a Hearth. We're going to get rid of a... I mean, we're going for the Donk, so I feel like I'm going to day change no matter what. So I'm just going to get rid of a Welder for now, because I guess I could... Nah, that doesn't make a whole ton of sense. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what I get rid of there between the Crystal and the... Because we're always dead changing here if we whiff, because we're always going for the Donk. Switch, Escape Rope. So I'm going to go Escape Rope first. Send up this, Stellar Wish. Grab a Quick Ball. Then we're going to Quick Ball for Crobat. Crobat for 5. And then we have Dead Change to fall back on. So now we Quick Ball away. Get rid of the Fire Crystal. Grab Crobat's Prize. Okay, so no Crobat. Take that back. I don't want to grab anything else. I could grab something to thin. We can thin out a Jirachi. We're going to grab a Jirachi. Switch to Reshizard. And now we're really hoping we don't whiff energy here. Could have switched to a Jirachi as well, but that doesn't seem as good. I guess we can always Outrage for 20 if we whiff. Well, let's not whiff. We don't whiff. Hey, there's a lot of energy there. And a good old Double Blaze Donk here to get us another dub in Game 2. All right, let's get it 3 in a row. And our... Oh, my gosh. We opened Jirachi. We opened Welder, Hearth, and multiple ways to find Pokemon. It's getting... And we have the Escape Rope, so we can do some really sneaky turn 1 Escape Rope play depending on what happens here on the turn. Our hand is insane. Our hand is ludicrous. It's absurd. It's pretty good. Yeah, we could go with an Escape Rope play here. Now, I don't play Mew currently, which means the Rapid Strike Urshifu is a little bit annoying to deal with, but they whiffed that turn 1 attachment, which is a huge deal. That top deck Fire Crystal is not great. So I go for the Cram. Could go with the Double Blaze and could maybe even knock one of these Urshifus out. But I kind of like the idea of the Cramorant a little bit more, to be honest. So I think I'm going to go with the Cram here. Give up the... The Escape Rope is also good because it takes the Jirachi out of the active. I think that's correct as well. So we're going to get rid of the Switch here. I'm going to grab Double Fire, and then we're going to go with Great Ball. Hopefully hit Cramorant. That's a little lucky, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you guys. That was a little, just a tad lucky. Welder down. See what we hit. There's a Fire as well. Oh my gosh. We just keep drawing so well. I do want to get Mewtwo here to reset the Welder, but we did top deck a Welder. Well, I don't know if that Welder's sticking around, though. What do I want to quick... I'm going to play the Escape Rope to get one of the Urshifus in the action. Make it a little bit more awkward. They don't get that Dream Revelation as easily. We can find something to Quick Ball away. I guess we could go with Hearth. I don't love the idea of Quick Balling away Hearth, but I like the rest of my hand so much. I don't want to get rid of any of that. To be honest, I wasn't even 100% sure that Mewtwo was in there, but it is. Escape Rope. Be a little bit annoying to our opponent here. Putting an Urshifu in the active, and then we'll probably snipe the other Urshifu because that is the one that is likely to be able to more likely to attack with than the active one. Obviously, if one of them had energy, we'd just 100% go after that one, but this works out just fine. As this one is a little bit more likely to be the one that's attacking, not 100%, but slightly more likely. So go after that one. See how that goes, and we'll definitely be able to switch out again because our opponent is playing Urshifu VMAX, which they can't one-hit KO a Cramorant. Cramorant's quite the tank in this matchup, so they can't KO our Cramorant. He's tanky. They actually can't one-hit KO any of our stuff, any of our multi-prize Pokemon, except for like Dedenne and Crobat, of course. They can't one-hit KO Oricorio or Cramorant or Reshizard. Our two big attackers are the Cramorant and the Reshizard, which they can't one-hit KO either of those, which is a big deal. We don't play, like I said, I don't play the Mew right now, though. Makes things a little sketchy. Gonna send up the Jirachi here. So it looks like they're gonna be able to get this hit on my Jirachi, which is not great, but it's not the worst thing ever. And then I just have to kind of avoid putting 2 easy prize cards in play for my opponent, I think. I mean, the G-Max Rapid Flow, they can kind of go anywhere with that if they want. They don't have to go after single prize Pokemon or Pokemon they can knock out. They can set up knockouts as well, which I'm sure they will do. And this one's going to get interesting. I'm actually not sure if this is a favorable or unfavorable matchup. I've never played against it, especially without Mew. I have to imagine it's going to be a little bit worse than not. I feel like with Mew, definitely give us a little bit of a stronger matchup, but without Mew, it's definitely going to be a little bit more difficult, right? So expect it to be a little bit more difficult for sure. They're not quite there yet, but I'm sure they're close to being able to. Yeah, there's the air balloon, so they get the attack. They get to knock out my Jirachi, which is a little sad. I like my Jirachi, but sometimes you gotta let it go, because I think the Mewtwo definitely is a little bit better to keep around here. All right, cram to the active. Get the welder. I'm gonna go ahead and welder first. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and Oricorio first, because I would like to use Hearth before I use welder, I guess, or I could draw into double fire here. We did not. I'm gonna do like this and try and keep the fire crystals around. Welder here. 3. Attach, net the Mewtwo. Mewtwo, put a welder back on top of the deck, and go ahead and spit shot. I could just spit shot the other Urshifu and actually just plan to one-hit KO this with Blacephalon next turn, which I like, but I'm not guaranteed to have a Blacephalon next turn. The only thing we can probably guarantee is the welder off the top deck, but they could Marnius, which means I lose the Blacephalon and the crystals, which means it's going to be that much harder. So I think I'm just going to hit the active here because of that. Yeah, because there's a really good chance that I don't get to actually get access to Blacephalon, and I get the welder like plus Reshizard or something like that, or if I get a Great Ball, who knows what I'm gonna get as an attacker, right? So although if we get to keep this hand, really solid to potentially pull off a one-hit KO with the Blacephalon, which would be really sick on the next turn. I'm very curious to see what they do here as well, because they got the second Urshifu set up. Here comes a Goon Ping, putting a little bit of damage on my Oricorio, which is resistance to fighting, by the way. So they're going for the big attack here. They're going for the big attack. We're going to look for this knockout on this. They're going to be able to knock out my Mewtwo, which I'm sure they'll go after. Mewtwo is super strong, so I don't blame them for going after my Mewtwo here. Or I'm assuming they're going to go after my Mewtwo. I guess it's possible they don't. But I guess our plan becomes knock this thing out with the Goon Ping this turn, and then KO this thing with Blacephalon on the following turn. And then we should be free to like bench our Blacephalon. If they really want to chase it, I think I would be fine with that. But there's the Marnie. But yeah, we have our welder on top, so we should be good here, unless they want to like reset stamp me or something. And they do play the Stone Energy, so they might just not play a Stadium at all, which as of right now, we really hope they don't, because this hand, okay, thank goodness, because this hand is not great. It's okay. Yeah, take out the Mewtwo. I mean, I like it. I think they should. Mewtwo is very strong in general. Yeah, it's a really good card. Fire top deck is nice. I could Hearth away the Jirachi, but I don't love that. Could draw with Oricorio first. So let's do that. Let's find a different card to discard, because I don't hate keeping the Reshizard around either. There's a ton of fire. There's the Goon. So we got the knockout. And I think I definitely want to take the knockout here before they get to attack with it again. And if I Goon Pinged it next turn, they'd be able to set up something else. I don't want to attack, so this Ping. Jirachi, Hearth away the Reshizard, because I think we just want that Blown win on the next turn. 1 Blown's prize, 1 Blown in the deck. 4 Fire Crystal left, I believe. Yeah, 4 Fire Crystal left. Spit Shot, take this thing out. Yeah, I want to win with Goon next turn. Escape Rope. I maybe should have used the Escape Rope this turn and the Switch, because I can't use Escape Rope next turn, because it would push this to the bench. This hand is actually really insane. Hopefully we don't get Marnied or reset stamped. One of those probably is going to happen. But we'll have another welder, another switch, and a quick ball in the deck, which is all great things to have around in the deck for the future. Yeah, I could have burned Escape Rope plus switch, use a Stellar Wish, switch back. I'm not going to be able to use this Escape Rope next turn, because they're going to probably attack with this, and we need a KO, specifically the Urshifu VMAX. We're not going to be able to. Oh no, they play the Coco. We have not seen a basic lightning yet. Not something I was anticipating. Now, this means that they play basic lightning energy, so they can actually get access to the G-Max Rapid Flow this turn, which is really bad for us, because they could like KO both our Jirachis, which I don't like. But they do need to find lightning energy and get it into this card pile, which is going to be that much harder if they're using Marnie for the turn versus the research. So I'm feeling like they're probably not going to be able to get it all off. They would also have to still find a Rapid Strike energy. So I'm feeling probably like we're going to be okay. I think we'll survive. I don't think they're going to get everything here. They, of course, could, but go ahead and hope they don't at the very least. It was the Giant Hearth within out the deck. They might not even attack this turn. It's possible they whiff. Ooh, Chaotic Swell. That's another bad one for us. They got the Rapid Strike, but yeah, they would need to get Lightning Energy and get into the discard pile, so it's just the Gale Thrust. All right. So we're here. We're on the Let's Find Blound and 1-hit KO our opponent's VMAX Pokemon turn that we get to so often with this deck in so many matchups. Top deck is a Boss's Order, so I'm going to go ahead and Stellar Wish because I have a net in hand. There's a Hearth, so I'll go ahead and thin that out of the deck. Scoop up net the Jirachi. Send up a Jirachi. Now, I don't have to bench another Jirachi because if we do get another Scoop up net, we can actually take our opponent's win condition out of play by picking up Zigzagoon. Depends how aggressive I want to be to try and win this turn, as opposed to a following turn, because I could just I have 2 scoop up nets left. I could find one, pick up Goon, not give my opponent a kind of win condition. But if I don't put his other Jirachi in play, we don't have Jirachis to kind of chain between and go for the win this turn. So I'm kind of torn here on what play I want to make, because we could go for the win this turn, go for the win next turn. They can't win next turn if I do pick up the Goon though. So I'm very torn here on this choice. But I guess if I put Dedenne in play, no matter what, they can always just go after Dedenne, right? All right, so let's go all out, try and get the win this turn then. Did a change. Fire Crystal in the hand, of course, kind of stinks, but I think we have plenty of Fire Crystals left. Quick Ball away. Urshifu. Rabble Both nets are in the deck, so we could play for the nets as well first and use Crobat, which I think I am going to do. Not going to grab that. We're going to use the Crobat. Before found a switch, found an escape rope. Of course, like I said, don't want to use escape rope. It's going to use that Dancer Tree. We do need to create bench space here, so we need to find one of those scoop up nets. How greedy did I potentially get? Not too greedy yet. Need to find a Fire Crystal. There's a Fire Crystal. I think we need all of our Fire Crystals as well, not just this one. So scoop up net, the Jirachi. I don't think there's anything I can get off this Great Ball. I'm going to go ahead and play it anyways, just to kind of make sure. They're both Fire Crystals are in there. Wait, is that even enough energy, though? I think we're going to be an energy short. We have to draw into an energy as well. So we actually need quite a bit here. Let's see if we can get it. I'm not feeling super confident. We need a Fire Crystal, 2 Fire Crystal attached. Oh no, that's just enough. I miscounted a little bit there. We got a little bit lucky on the draw, and that's gonna be a dub. Yeah, I think we got just a tad lucky there. Just a tad, a small bit. Yeah, if we had Mew, I think we'd be definitely locking this one up, no problem. Don't play the Mew. Definitely a consideration though. Like I said, this is a pretty big deck. The Rapid Strike is right now. So definitely a consideration to maybe add the Mew into the deck to give ourselves a little bit more of an edge against this deck. I mean, Cramorant in general is also a card that's out there. Picarom's making a comeback with the Tag Ball. So Mew's definitely a consideration to add to the list. But the Escape Ropes and the Great Balls didn't feel too bad. So if you guys are looking to play some TempoZard again and update the list, the Escape Ropes have been really sick in a lot of situations for me so far. Great Balls are something that have been played in and out of TempoZard for a while now. And I feel like it's a little bit better. Like I said, the synergy is there with the extra switch cards to find Jirachis more aggressively. This is the best way to play it right now. Who knows? Escape Rope seems really sick at the very least. Great Balls. I mean, it's kind of a lot of RNG in a card, so you never like cards like that, but it's not terrible. Anyways, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.